The pen is mightier than the sword. Today we will be introducing 7 books that are mightier than the sword. At number 7 is the book written in 1513 and published in 1532. The title of the book is The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli. Machiavelli was a diplomat cum philosopher based in Florence, Italy in the 15th century. He is widely regarded as one of the finest personifications of the spirit of the European Renaissance. The Prince is easily the most influential book on statecraft ever written. The book argues that the struggle for power knows no moral constraints and that ends justify means. Power seekers and preservers must wade through blood if necessary without moral scruples. If you have the ambition to become a successful boss in politics or business, then the Prince is what the doctor ordered for you. One of the memorable quotes from the Prince is, "Never attempt to win by force what can be won by deception." At number 6 is the book written in 5th century BCE. The title of the book is The Art of War, written by Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu was a Chinese general and philosopher who lived about 5th century BCE. The Art of War is the most influential book on military strategy ever written. It has also been applied to business strategy. If you would like to know when to fight and when not to fight, when to appear weak and when to appear strong, you must read The Art of War. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles, say Sun Tzu. The founder of the People's Republic of China, Mao Zedong, drew a lot of inspiration from The Art of War for both his military and political strategies. One of the memorable quotes from The Art of War is this: "All warfare is based on deception." At number 5 is the book which was first published in 1818. The title of the book is The World as Will and Representation by Arthur Schopenhauer. Schopenhauer was a 19th century German philosopher. The world as will and representation is an impassioned argument for primacy of will over the intellect, of passions over reason, and of feelings over logic in a malignant world where everyone is doomed to suffer and die. The book has been remarkably influential on both philosophers and literati, not to speak of strong men like Hitler. Should you wish your pessimism become a cult, The World as Will and Representation is a must read for you. There is a memorable quote from the book: "Life is an ever deferred death. Ultimately, death must triumph, for by birth it has already become our lot, and it plays with its prey only for a while before swallowing it up." At number 4 is the book which was published in early 11th century. The title of the book is The Incoherence of the Philosophers, or Tahfatul Philosopher in Arabic, by Al-Ghazali. Ghazali was an Arabic theologian and mystic in 11th century. The Incoherence sets out to prove that all philosophy is essentially heretical and that philosophers deserve death for questioning orthodox interpretation of Islam. The book, with the support of the ruling establishment, eliminated the need for both philosophy and science in Islamic world, and thus brought to a halt all intellectual and scientific progress in Muslim world. Philosophy and science would never again have the same place in Islamic world that they had during 9th, 10th and 11th centuries. And here is one of the memorable quotes from the book: "God has the power to create the satisfaction of hunger without eating, or death without the severance of the head, or even the survival of life when the head has been cut off." At number 3 is the book which was published in late 5th century BCE. The book's title is The Analects by Confucius. Confucius was a teacher and senior official in ancient China, and he is the most famous and most influential name in Chinese history. The Analects are a collection of Confucius' sayings put together by his pupils shortly after his death. Together, they express the central concept of Confucius philosophy, which is the Chunze. Chunze is an ideal man whose character embodies benevolence and whose acts are in accordance with the rights and rightness. Confucius believes that if the ruler is benevolent, the government will naturally work towards the good of the people. None else has so thoroughly shaped a nation as Confucius shaped the Chinese. Essential Chinese virtues of hierarchy, propriety, and harmony bear the imprint of Confucius' teachings. Here is a memorable quote from the book: "It's rare indeed for a man with cunning words and an ingratiating face to be benevolent. At number 2 is the book which was first published in 1867. It is Karl Marx, Das Kapital, or The Capital in English. Karl Marx was a 19th century German philosopher and political economist. Written in the wake of the Industrial Revolution and called the Bible of the working class, The Capital contains Marx's theory of dialectical materialism. History, according to Marx, must culminate in overthrow of capitalism and usher in a worker revolution, paving the way for the establishment of a classless society and elimination of all instruments of exploitation, including the state. Sounds utopian? Yes, indeed. But The Capital and Marx's other writings have inspired more revolutions than any other book or theory in history, including the Chinese Revolution and the Russian Revolution. As late as the closing of the 20th century, almost a half of the global population was in thrall of Marxism. Even today, those who are disillusioned with capitalism see in Marx communism the only road to salvation in this world. And here is a memorable quote from the book. Nature does not produce on the one side owners of money or commodities, and on the other men possessing nothing but their own labor power. This relation has no natural basis, neither is its social basis one that is common to all historical periods. At number 1 is the book which was published about 375 BC. It's Plato's The Republic. Plato was from the ancient Greece and is widely regarded as the greatest philosopher of all times. Universally regarded as Plato's greatest work and one of the greatest books ever written, The Republic asks and seeks to answer the question, what is justice? The use of the dialogue enables Plato to discuss rival theories of justice, such as the view that justice is the interest of the strong. Justice for Plato means giving everyone their due. What is due to a man or woman is that they should be treated on the basis of their natural capacity and education. What is due from them is honest performance of the functions stipulated by the place or station they hold. Political justice means that knowledge or virtue, both being the same, is the only recognized claim to power. Though justice isn't an individual's interest, it is always in an individual's interest to be just. Plato also expounds his thoroughgoing communism in the Republic, whereby he abolishes both private property and family. At one go, the Republic rejects capitalism, democracy, individualism, and pragmatism. All subsequent and ethical theories, political and ethical theories, are affirmation, modification, or refutation of the political ethical theory presented in the Republic. And here is a memorable quote from the Republic. The price good men pay for indifference to public affairs is to be ruled by evil men. I trust you like this video. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel Wisdom of Life. Thanks for watching.